on this list, number one is, of course, Metal Gear Solid.
Yes. Also,
which is probably the best Game Boy or Game Boy Color game
also known
ever
as
made.
Metal Gear Ghost Babel for in Japan. It is like we bought this on a whim.
Yes.
I remember it was between this and something else. And we're like, let's get that.
This might have been the first Metal Gear Solid game I played.
Yeah, probably.
This was probably right before Twin Snakes.
Yeah.
It was amazing. This game is amazing.
Yeah. If you've never played it, it's hard to get now. I've looked on eBay, like loose copies of the game go for $60.
I mean, it's worth it, man. It's
totally worth it. But yeah, definitely track this game down any way you can. Play it. It's like, and cast your mind back to like 99, 2000 when this came out. It's unlike anything else that came out on the system. It's a full-fledged Metal Gear game.
So it's Metal Gear Solid, but in an alternate universe.
Yeah.
Where like some of the characters are different, but the whole story plays out pretty much the same.
Very similar. Yeah, you don't go to Shadow Moses. You go to a different place. It starts out kind of like the NES Metal Gear, where you parachute in a secluded location. You have to work your way to the base. But it's, yeah, you can't say enough good things about it. And there's like 1,000 VR missions that you can do.
Yeah, I spent most of the time just doing the VR missions, trying to get the fastest time and stuff.
And what's cool is that they formatted it for a mobile game, so that like every section is broken up into levels.
Yeah.
So like it's still like, you know, a big open world that you can explore, but like it's broken up into levels, which is cool. And of course there are 30-minute cutscenes.
Yes, they're very long cutscenes. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. It was put out in 2000, so it's late. It distilled Metal Gear into its like core elements, where it's just stealth and shooting and stuff. But it's can't say enough good things about it. I talk about it in Izzy's video that YouTube Gaming retweeted today. Could you imagine?
Oh wow,
good for him.
I guess I should watch that video.
And good for me, because I was in the video. And F you, Wood, you weren't in his video. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe is number 2. That has a really good multiplayer.
Yeah, that is basically not basically. It is a remake of the original Super Mario Brothers for the NES, but it has a lot of new features. I think in addition to really good multiplayer, I think it has extra levels, like bonus levels and things like that.
I know that the on-off switch that's in Mario Maker right now was taken from Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which is great. And I think that there's a lot of multiplayer levels in Mario Maker that are inspired by Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, because those on-off switches while you're running really like messes things up. It's fun. It's a great game. 3 and 4 is Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons.
Legend of Zelda, yeah.
I know some people who say that these are their favorite Zelda games.
Well, of course.
So people really like that.
Yeah.
Then there's Pokemon Silver, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, which isn't fair.
Yeah.
That's already, you can't put it on top of the Game Boy, the top of the Game Boy Color.
Well, they did.
Now, is that a backwards compatible one? I believe it is.
Yes. But
Or
if you
forwards compatible, I should say.
if you play it in a Game Boy Color, it has an extra dungeon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mario Tennis, Donkey Kong Country, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, Wario Land 3, Pokemon Gold version. It's all the way down there.
Damn.
And Wario Land 2. I should note that we got all the way down here. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is Pokemon Gold. And that's the first one that's less than 90%
Wow.
on game ranking.
Yeah.
And then there's Wario Land
I mean,
2.
to be fair, it's 89.
Yeah. But
Again, like some reviews aren't there or whatnot.
yeah, it's weird territory. It's not like Metacritic, because these are old reviews. But it's of note that in the entire list of original Game Boy games, none of them are over a 90% on game rankings.
Yeah.
The top one is Link's Awakening, which has an 89. So, personally, I feel like Game Boy Color, it's got the better games. You know?
Well, I mean, by the time they got to Game Boy Color, it was so powerful it could actually handle NES games,
Right.
even better than the NES could. So they can start porting NES games to
But
it.
then again, half of these freaking games can work on an original Game Boy, you know?
Yeah,
So, like, That's why I say that Game Boy and Game Boy Color kind of mixes together.
Well, a lot of people say that. It's not just you, Bob. You're not original.
What do we have in our Game Boy?
All right, our Game Boy Color.
For the record, we have never talked about Game Boy or Game Boy Color games on the backlog.
Correct. So we had a weird collection of Game Boy Color games. We have Pocket Bomberman on Game Boy Color. Is that true? Or did I put that in there by mistake?
I have a bunch of Bomberman games.
Okay. Maybe it was... They do rename Bomberman like the same thing. Like there's like 20 games called Bomberman. I think there's 2 Bomberman 2s on N64.
Let me see what Pocket Bomberman even looks like.
You do that. I'll go down the list. We mentioned Metal Gear Solid.
Yes.
Affectionately.
Wait, yeah, it's right here. Pocket Bomberman. I just had it.
But it's a gray card.
No, it's black.
Oh, look at that. All right, so I'll delete the regular Game Boy version then.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It's confusing.
It is confusing. All right, so we got Pocket Bomberman, and we talked about Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel. Yes. We also have Duke Nukem for the Game Boy Color.
I played this a lot.
Yes, this game it's weird because it's basically a port of Duke Nukem 1 and 2 for the PC. It's like a greatest hits collection of both of those, and it's really good. It's like a really fun side-scrolling game.
Right.
So
Duke Nukem used to be a side scroller back.
Yeah. I mean, if you probably have an easier access to Duke Nukem 1 and 2 for the PC, and you should play those because they're really good.
They're weird. They're weird as
Yeah. But Duke Nukem for Game Boy Color was basically the best of those games, and they gave him sunglasses because now Modern Duke wears sunglasses. Then we had Perfect Dark for the Game Boy Color.
I remember playing this. This is not a good game.
No.
I used to play it a lot though.
This game, for all its faults, and has a lot of faults, it's very ambitious. The sprite works is huge. Like all the characters are super huge. The gameplay is varied immensely. You got your standard exploration levels, you got your shooting levels, you have your over the shoulder like almost light gun style levels in a way. It has spoken dialogue in it, like with the voice actors from the N64 game. It had a rumble feature that you needed a AAA battery to power the rumble. It had Game Boy printer support. Basically, any feature that the Game Boy ever had, any accessory that you can use, was usable with this game. It's insane. And it works with the transfer pack for N64 with Perfect Dark. It's nuts. Not a good game, but
all right,
very ambitious. San Francisco Rush 2049, also not that good of a game.
I always confuse it with F-Zero.
Yeah. Spider-Man for the Game Boy Color, also not a good game. Disappointing because it controls fairly well and it looks great, but all you do in that game is get attacked by birds.
Yes, I remember that now.
All you do. I mentioned it in my review of like Spider-Man on PS1, but yeah, all you do is get attacked by birds. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
They were all right. They were all right.
The first one is not.
Okay.
The first one is two modes. It's got vert mode where you just go do this in the vert and like try and do tricks. That's it. And then it had the rest of it was a racing game, which was not good. Tony Hawk 2 on the Game Boy Color at least tried to be like a Tony Hawk game, and it was better for it. But by then, the Game Boy Advance came out, and Tony Hawk 2 on the Game Boy Advance was like mind-blowing. Like everybody played that. So then that's it.
Yeah, so I'll say again, Game Boy Color's got the better library.
Yeah.
We had crappier games for the Game Boy Color.
We did.
It looks like all of our Game Boy Color games are pretty crappy.
We have, hold on.
Except Metal Gear carried that.
Yeah. You know? Oh my God, yeah. We have 23 games. Sorry, 24. 25 games for the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color combined.
We had Pokemon. Our most played games on the Game Boy Color was Pokemon Red and Blue. We just played them on a Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was a bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think Game Boy Colors were cheaper than the Game Boy when they came.
They were. And like by then we were old enough where we can afford our own Game Boys.
We bought them?
Yeah.
Ourselves?
Yeah.
I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
I remember.
We saved up.
I remember
Our allowance?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I thought our parents were like, here you go, Will. Here you go, Bob.
No, we
saved up our own money
and our birthday
bought
money's
our own,
yes.
and we were like, I'm gonna get the purple one. Okay, I'm gonna get the yellow one.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. You had the purple one?
Yeah, Atomic Purple.
I had the yellow one then.
So please, Nintendo, make more things in Atomic Purple, you cowards. The Game Boy.
The Game Boy.